sure she will grow more. Now a turnover, early turnover. Haley Michaels gave that one up to Avery Dodge. We don't see Michaels turn the ball over very often, and West is off to a nice start with the finish there. Dejana Smith, the senior.
It's one of just 2 seniors on this West roster.
And the only one they start. The starting lineup consists of 2 sophomores, 1 freshman, 1 junior, and 1 senior. So they got a little bit of everything, while Normal Community only has 1 junior and the rest seniors. Tough finish from Raina Powers. A turnaround fadeaway puts the Ironmen on the board.
One thing I want to just talk about, the crowd here showing up tonight. We've had a lot of Saturday games that we've covered. One thing also, this is a crosstown rivalry. One of the games that people want to watch in this town. So good to see all of the investment tonight. Yeah, we have a very solid student section showing tonight and just a lot of fans. Marco Reynolds has a mismatch in the post, but they're going to call her for throwing an elbow on that one on Haley Upton. Marco Reynolds really showed some emotion with that one. Big clap. You know, in these big games, it's good to have high intensity. Let's see how Marco Reynolds can respond to this one. She has a bit of a mismatch in the post as she's got a few inches on Upton. Now bringing it up across the court is Braylon Ellison. She is just a freshman starting for Normal West, listed at 5'3", so you know she's got to have a little speed. Well, they find her in the corner 3. She's going to drive it, nowhere to go. Going to be called for a travel is Braylon Ellison. Nice defense from Normal Community. We're 2.5 minutes in. It's 4-2 Wildcats, and the Ironman crowd is loud. You love to see the student section getting into it. Something we haven't seen as much this year compared to last year. A growing team this year, but as we see playoff time come around, we're going to have a few in our regional, a little local. So we want to see that fan engagement go up and cheer on this Iron squad.
Reynolds with the tough and one on Haley Upton. She missed her shot, followed it, came back around the other side of the hoop. Little finger roll, draws the foul. Marco Reynolds with a nice finish, and that's exactly what she needs, a little confidence boost. It seems like sometimes it's a slow start for Reynolds, and she really starts getting going at the end. It's nice to see her getting going now, and she completes the 3-point play. The first Ironman lead, 3 minutes into the contest. It's 5-4, and we have a substitution. Zoe Wilde checking in for Camry Fisher. Wilde is a tough defender, and it's hard to get anywhere. She is all over the freshman Braylon Ellison. Ellison crosses half court and picks up the ball, tries to pass it, but we got a steal from Haley Michaels, who's going to try to take it the other way, and a nice finish from Michaels. That was good defense from Normal West as Kylie Wilson tried to get a hand in there, but Michaels was undisturbed to give Community a 3-point lead.
Michaels, a tenacious defender. That's why they put her in there. She's just such a great player, especially as just a junior, first varsity year.
Yeah, there's a lot of solid juniors on this team. There is a deep 3 from Normal West. Marco Reynolds gets the rebound, and Michaels is going to take it the other way. Michaels to Raina Powers at the Normal Community logo. Now bringing it closer to 3. Watch out because she can shoot those. She's going to drive it instead. Nice jump stop. Ricochets off the front of the rim. 7-4 Normal Community. Ellison bringing it up for Normal West. It's very interesting seeing a freshman bring it up and starting. That's something you rarely see in high school basketball, but I feel like we've been seeing more of it this year in boys and girls basketball. That one's turned over. Marco Reynolds tipped it into Kenna Malinowski's hands. She thought about the pull-up 3. Now we got ball movement. Wilde wants to get that into Reynolds. Reynolds has a mismatch, and that one just a little too much pepper on that, and rebound goes to Kylie Wilson. Wilson, the sophomore 5'5" guard, is going to try to drive it on Wilde. She's met with a double team. Malinowski swallowed that ball, but it is going to be Normal West basketball out on Malinowski. 2 substitutions coming in. Zoe Wilde comes in for Haley Michaels, and we also see Tatum Yoakley coming in for Marco Reynolds. We've seen a lot more of her lately.
Yeah, Tatum Yoakley has a great defensive presence with great, long arms, being able to reel rebounds in like that and also create kind of havoc and block vision.
Yeah, we saw a substitution for Normal West as Savannah Steers has subbed into the game, 5'8" forward. She is a junior. As we said, this is a very young team that has almost all returners.
Camry Fisher kicks that one out to Malinowski. Malinowski 3, just a little too much, but Yoakley gets the offensive board. Now back to Powers for the Iron to reset. Wilde's got it with Ellison on her. Back to Malinowski. Malinowski nearly gets that one stripped from her, and I think we're going to get a jump ball here. Yes, we have a jump ball. Possession stays with Normal Community. Thoughts on these first 5 minutes? We've seen a lot of defense from both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% fueled by the energy in this gym right now. Just seeing a full bench on West side, Community side, Lincoln Way West game, we did not see like any players on the bench. It was kind of just like, I don't want to say boring, but it's just like there's something that happens when there's support coming from both sides. So we're seeing the energy really amped up in this game.
Yeah, there's another freshman that subbed into the game for Normal West. Lizzie Kaser is in the game, the 5-foot guard. But here's a 3 from Malinowski, and that one off the front iron. It ricochets into Wilde's hands. Wilde kicks that one to Fisher, who thinks about the 3. She's going to drive it instead. The floater is going to draw a foul. Foul there on Lizzie Kaser. Say a very solid start, especially defensively from Normal Community, staying aggressive on offense. The 3s haven't hit yet, but that's when you have to drive it, as they've done, and they've drew a couple fouls from Normal West, and that's what you like to see as Camry Fisher knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, that was one thing that was just such like an insane performance to see in that Lincoln Way West game that we covered. Amia Lester with over 20 points in that game. Of course, she's not here tonight. Amia Lester was on fire from 3 that game. I mean, everyone was kind of on fire from 3 that game. We saw Kenna Malinowski go on a crazy stretch from 3. The Community 100% has the ability to go crazy from 3, just a matter of time and when that happens.
Yeah, Malinowski made 4 straight 3s, I believe, in that contest. She was red hot. Now a drive from Normal West and the kick. Now holding it is Avery Dodge, waiting for an open defender. Raina Powers is all over her. Now swung over to Ellison. Ellison with Wilde on her. Great defense from Wilde. Now to the freshman, Lizzie Kaser. She's going to drive, nowhere to go. And, oh, a tough move there, and that's going to be off the front iron, but she follows her shot, and that's 2 for Avery Dodge. 9-6, Normal Community, under 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Yeah, Dodge, a player that can go on streaks for sure. Last matchup we had with West in that first game, an inter-city matchup, Avery Dodge had 8 straight points at the end of the first quarter, kind of getting West back in the game. So got to watch out for how she's going to respond right now.
Steal from Braylon Ellison gives the ball back to Normal West. She has been scrappy on the defensive end. And now a drive to the rack and a little too much from Kylie Wilson. The Normal Community takes it back. Raina Powers has it with Dodge on her. She's trying to work her way inside. Kicks it back out instead. Now Fisher with the ball. Gives it over to Michaels, back to Powers. Powers working in the post. She kicks it to Wilde. This is great defense from Normal West. Normal Community staying very patient though. And that is going to be Normal Community basketball as West tipped that one out of bounds after the Yoakley drive. And we have a couple substitutions into the game. Marco Reynolds, Kenna Malinowski for the Iron. Also, Dejana Smith is into the ball game for Normal West. Haley Michaels open from 3, and no good from Normal Community. A cold start from beyond the arc.
One thing I didn't exactly look for at the start of the game, but that player I talked about, Journey Johnson, who's number 5 for West, she's actually on the bench, not dressed right now. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe a player that I consider one of their best. We also have Amia Lester out, so kind of interesting to see the way that's playing out.
Marco Reynolds in the post with 2 defenders on her. Just puts it right over him off the backboard and into the hoop. 11-6 Normal Community. West might try to hold this one with 21 seconds left. And first they got to get it past half court, which they do. Raina Powers nearly gets the steal, and West will reset. Now down to 8 seconds left on the clock. and they swing it. There's a three from Normal West, and that one just a little bit short, but they save it. Marco Reynolds got the ball, 1 second on the clock, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter with the score reading 11-6 Normal Community, and we have not seen a single three yet in this ball game.
Yeah, 11-6 still. Little bit of a slower game for Community, but still the grit and grind is a way that Community's been able to do things all season, and kind of is maybe a strength that they can lean into, especially with Marco Reynolds having the effect she does in this game. She has a bit of a advantage being 6'1". No player on West really matches up against that except for that swing player Peyton Harmon, but we haven't seen her too much. So really great start for Community in my opinion. One thing I was just thinking about, with those final seconds, usually the first thing I look for is where is Amia? Because I'm always like, Amia's going to get that shot in those final seconds. She's not here. They don't get a shot at the final seconds. But still, 11-6, a lot of things to look forward to with Community, especially try to get that momentum going.
You know, Reynolds had the ball, three-quarter court, about 2 seconds left. I wanted to see Marco take that. I would have loved for Marco Reynolds to just pull up a half quarter. You know, she made her first three a few nights ago, so I think Marco can shoot it from deep, and I would like to see that.
Yeah, maybe like your half-court shot that you had the other night.
We're just gonna keep bringing that up. I don't think we need to talk about that. You know, Mr. Bovenkirk said he was gonna bring out a highlight of that in one of the games, and I hope that he doesn't have that ready to go, because that's just a moment. I don't think we need to relive that.
Right.
All right, it is 11-6 Normal Community beginning the second quarter of action. Smith gives that one over to number 3, Braylon Ellison. Ellison with Michaels on her, gets it past the threshold. Now Normal West trying to work their way into the post. That's going to be a mid-ranger instead, right off the backboard. But a gritty rebound from Normal West is going to give them a second chance. The three's no good, and almost another rebound from Haley Upton, who was really grinding in the paint. Back to Marco Reynolds in the paint. She's going to work her way in. Tries to give it to Raina Powers, and it's successful. Powers with the double team, already picked up her dribble. She finds a cutting Camry Fisher, who nails the layup. Beautiful pass from Raina Powers, and just staying composed, even though that clock was starting to go for the 5 seconds of holding it. She has a nice dish.
That was some great movement by the team. I saw Kenna Malinowski cutting, Camry Fisher cutting. Just a lot of coordination on the team, knowing what to do to get out of those sticky situations.
Yeah, this is a really great start from Normal Community, especially when you're looking at the defensive end of things. Offensively, Normal Community struggling from three, still having a decent offensive game. This is a West team that does play a lot more defense, like their games are a lot lower scoring. It's 42-43 is their average score, but they still do average 42, and they have 6, and we're already in the second quarter now. So Community has really done a nice job of locking them up, and I think that has a lot to do with the tough man-to-man defense that they play, and then also Marco Reynolds is just kind of inside, maybe even scaring Normal West, who their tallest player that they played so far is 5'10".
Little storyline that I want to pay attention to. Darylyn Dunn, who you'll see on our bench, very bright with that bright orange jacket, was actually Normal West head coach for the girls basketball team for 3 years before this. Now the coach is Corey Osling with his first season. Actually was a coach for 6 years before that. So they've gone back to their roots a little. But Darylyn Dunn, a player who, our coach, who knows this organization well. Still, Community's had a big advantage over West. In the last 5 years, they've won 8 straight games against them.
Yeah, nearing that big number 10. If they get a win here, they'll be at 9 straight. But we got a good contest and a tough floater from Malinowski. Hot start from Normal Community, 15-6. They've been on a roll since they took the lead with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Normal West started the game getting into the paint pretty easily, had a few quick baskets, and since then, it has been Normal Community all over them with nowhere to go. Now we have Kylie Wilson, kicks that one over to Dodge. Dodge trying to drive it on Powers, kicks it out. There's the three, and that one too long, but a rebound from Normal West and a steal from Haley Michaels as Upton tried to pass that one. Michaels in the fast break, and that one's up for grabs. And let's see what the call is on that one. I'm not 100% sure myself. I don't think the ref has called it either. And that is going to be Normal Community, Normal West basketball, I believe. We saw a couple hands going a couple ways, so we'll see how this one turns out. It's looking like it will be Normal West basketball. Right now on the court for the Wildcats is Avery Dodge. We have Haley Upton. Actually, all the starters are in for the Wildcats with Kylie Wilson, Dejana Smith, and Braylon Ellison.
Yeah, I just want to give a little update. We were tracking that Richwoods manual game about Big 12 conference standings. Right now, the last update we had was halftime. Richwoods was winning 22-17. So we'll get an update on that as we maybe go to halftime.
Yeah, that one also looking like a defensive showcase, and there it is from West with a steal. Kylie Wilson not letting the ball get into Kenna Malinowski, who we've seen really improve her skills in the paint throughout the course of the season. Ellison drives it. She's got a lane and she's got a bucket. 15-8 Normal Community. Great job by the freshman getting to the rack and just putting that one up with confidence. Michaels gives it to Powers in the corner, looking to give it into Marco Reynolds. She's got it into Reynolds, a spin move, but she is triple teamed, and that's going to be a jump ball as Avery Dodge came in there as the third defender on Marco Reynolds, being able to tie that ball up. That's a different strategy from Normal West, which can work in times, but also that also leaves a lot of people open for Normal Community. So we'll see how Reynolds reacts to that. We've seen her be able to give out some great passes this year as well.
Yeah, she's been working on this all season, knowing her role and really getting into that.
Oh, that was almost a fantastic finish from Reynolds, who went up and under. Oh, just not quite enough on it, and West has it now. Dodge is going to drive it with Powers on her, puts it up despite some really tough defense from Normal Community, and Powers is going to take it the other way. Euro step and just a little too much on that. Now Normal West, and it seems like it might be time to slow up the tempo as both teams have been going pretty fast, couple turnovers, and I think that's exactly what the Wildcats will do here. Ellison's got it at the top of the key, gives it off to Kaser. Kaser now gives it to Dodge. Dodge with Powers on her, and Powers has done a really good job of containing Dodge. Camry Fisher, great job getting in there, not letting that inside pass go to Kylie Wilson, which could have been an easy bucket. And now Normal Community regains the ball after it seemed like there could be some momentum switch. Normal West starting to get a little bit going for them as they had the last bucket.
Wellborn and Armani Connor checking into the game. We haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, Wellborn, someone we'll see a lot of next year. Raina Powers gets in, draws the foul. That was Avery Dodge with the contact there, and now we see a couple free throws from Raina Powers. How about you talk about Powers and kind of the improvements she's made this season shooting the ball?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to see the way she's really improved over the season. I mean, I wouldn't say she's like Olivia Corson had a 3 in her junior year, but something I would say, Olivia Corson improved her three-pointer so much in her senior season, becoming like kind of an elite scorer as she approached that, getting that 1,000-point mark.
Armani Connor gets the rebound, puts it back up. Sorry to interrupt you. Nice finish from Connor.
But I see that same kind of trajectory with Raina Powers, kind of coming into her own, really developing her scoring game. I mean, we knew she was a prolific defender. That was always in her game. But the way she's been able to score from so many different ways has really changed the way she is.
And Kylie Wilson just went on a tear, being able to score at will, much like Olivia Corson did, and that is 2 straight buckets for Wilson. She drove it with a nice floater, and that time she got the steal and got to the hoop. It's 17-12 Normal Community. Raina Powers, this hounded, just gets that ball off before 5 seconds. Now Malinowski has it, thought about the deep 3, instead kicks it to Wilde. Wilde's gonna drive and draw the foul. That is West's 3rd foul of the quarter. Normal Community continues to drive with some ball fakes, and getting to the rack is drawing fouls for them.
Yeah, it was a tough hit for Wildy, but we know she's never afraid to get in there and draw that contact. Hitting so many tough layups this season, I'm just like, I'm in awe sometimes when I see her go into the paint.
Yeah, she has a different speed that we don't see a lot of players possess. And one thing to note, it's 17-12. We'll see the score after this free throw. 18-12 now as she gets a nice bounce there from the rim. But there has not been a single three-pointer made by either team. And we are nearing the end of the second quarter. This is the Normal Community team that attempts 22 of those a game, knocks down 7 a game. And we've seen, like the last game that we announced, Amia Lester must have had 5. I think Malinowski had 5. So Normal Community usually has three-pointers in their DNA. We haven't seen it tonight, but they haven't really needed it as they have a 7-point lead right now with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing about Community's team, their versatility. They have so many different people who could do different things. Their whole team can contribute in so many different ways, giving you a different story every night.
Yeah, we saw Wilson almost knock that one down for Normal West, trying to get 6 straight points. Now Community has the ball back, looking for their biggest lead of the game, and that's going to be a foul against Normal West, their 4th of the quarter. Next one will put Normal Community in the bonus, and we still have 3 minutes left in this second quarter, so that's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, with Zoe Wildy in the game, she's kind of similar to what Amia Lester's role would be. Amia Lester is a very true point guard, leading the team in assists, getting inside and trying to set up her teammates. Zoe Wildy is that exact same way. She's kind of a natural leader in that kind of way, just kind of always doing what the team needs to get the win.
Yeah, she does exactly what the team needs and just misses that one, but she made 3 of 4 free throws on her trips to the line. Now Community has an 8-point lead, and that's going to be over and back against Normal West as Avery Dodge just kind of picked that one up just a step earlier than she would have wanted to. But it is interesting that you're kind of talking about Wildy being able to do whatever Community needs. And right now, it's driving to the rack, drawing fouls. Usually it's her defensive presence. She averages 10 minutes a game, but she gets 1 steal per contest, which is really impressive considering just playing 10 minutes. Now Connor just misses that one as Haley Michaels tried to serve it up to her. They are both in my environment Earth class, so it's kind of fun to see them playing together here tonight. Now Kylie Wilson was able to get that one off after being double teamed, and there's a shot from Normal West, and Armani Connor gets the rebound. The miss there from Avery Dodge. Dodge had a very hot start with 4 of their first 6 points, but she has not scored since. Connor called for it in the paint. She tries to kick it out to Wildy, and that one is just gonna get bounced around. Normal West with the basketball. Ellison with another steal. Ellison, just being a freshman, has been really impressive to me, especially on the defensive end. I think that's how she gets so many minutes. Connor with good defense on Wilson. Nowhere to go for the sophomore. And now Akena Malinowski 3. Counted from Malinowski. That's what we love to see from the three-point sniper. It is 23-12. Normal Community, their first double-digit lead of the contest with 1:31 left in the second quarter. First three-pointer made in this contest after 14 and a half minutes of action.
Yeah, and we knew it had to be Ken Malinowski doing that. She's kind of that tone setter when it comes to distance. That first 3 is going to set the tone for how the team hopefully will get more into the three-point groove as we go on.
West broke the press, but Raina Powers was right there, so Kylie Wilson had no easy buckets. Now they go back to Reynolds in the post. Marco working her way in, and that one just misses. She has Haley Upton on her, someone that's done a pretty solid job considering that Marco Reynolds has a couple inches on her and some more size. Now Normal West drives the sideline. Good drive there from Kaser. And she's able to give that one off to Ellison. The 2 freshmen on the court together right now. 2 freshmen, excuse me. Ellison on the floater. That one nearly dropped in. That's going to be a Normal Community rebound. We have 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Fisher swings it to Powers. Powers is going to think about the three. She wants to drive it instead. Now takes it back. It looks like Normal Community is going to try to hold this one for the last possession. Something we see a lot from the Ironmen, kind of given that we are the team that's going to control the tempo with this 11-point lead.
Yeah, and they've had a few times where they've hit that shot, and it really is a momentum maker. You kind of see the whole bench cheer. We'll see as Reina continues to dribble the ball here.
Yeah, we're at 10 seconds now. Dodge on Powers. And now we have a screen from Fisher to Malinowski. Powers is going to drive it. Spin move, get into the rack. Tried to draw the foul, got it back, gives it to Reynolds. Ooh, that one is just a little bit short at the buzzer. But how about that? Powers, it looked like she may have gotten fouled, but she was able to get the rebound on the ground, giving it to Reynolds for one more shot at the buzzer. And I see you pointing. I think it's your favorite time of the game, Bella.
Ooh, we got a lot of participants, it looks like, for the half-court contest. Maybe they'll be more close to the basket than Zach Knox Doyle's shot was when we saw him do it a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Yep.
It's been a few weeks.
I'm just getting disses on the ink spot, but it's okay. You know, I think there's going to be some air balls today, and I think somebody's going to hit it over the hoop. So we're going to have to watch for that because I think someone's going to shoot it over the hoop, which would make that worse than mine.
It's very possible, very possible. We've seen a lot of things go on. We've seen some alumni take the court to get some action here and get that Visa gift card. But we've seen these people are hitting the backboard. There is an air ball, okay? There is an air ball.
Not only was that an air ball, that was a really interesting shot, a little jump underhand. You know, you see every kind of form. And here's a deep one. That one might be good, little short. But first, let's kind of analyze what we saw in that first half of action. 23-12 Normal Community lead at halftime. What are your thoughts on what you saw offensively and defensively from the Iron to start?
Yeah, I think they really came here to play tonight. They've had a few games without Amia Lester, so they've kind of had time to adjust to that loss. But I don't think they've really changed in their intensity and approach. They seem like they know what they're doing. They're not fazed by maybe not having one of their better players in the game, especially a player who can score at such high levels. Like we said a few nights ago, had 20 points. So still, Community looking very confident. That was one thing we said was a key after that slump of the season, getting that confidence back. Woo! We saw a shot go in. Woo! Almost got two straight. But still, that confidence is building, and the Ironmen at a perfect time in the season as we get ramped up and start going into playoffs.
Yeah, and let's look at the playoffs as those seedings just came in. Bella, do you want to kind of go through what the Alton sectional is looking like?
Yeah, Normal Community part of subsectional B this year. They're actually ranked atop the subsectional. Normal Community number 1. Manuka is number 2. Pekin's number 3. Moline's number 4. Rock Island is number 5. West is number 6. So we might see that matchup. Bradley Bourbonnais is 7, and East Moline United Township is actually number 8, which we played earlier in this season. We saw a big gap in that game. So interesting to see how Normal Community fares against that part of the subsectional. And then on the other side of the subsectional, we got subsectional A. Alton, number 1 in the subsectional, number 4 in the total 4A AP poll. A huge kind of presence in 4A, probably gonna make some state news. But then there's O'Fallon at number 2, we lost to earlier in the season. And then you have Belleville East, Edwardsville, Quincy, Collinsville, Belleville West, and then Granite City coming in there. So that will be the Alton sectional. If Community does go to the sectional final, that would be in Alton. Last year was in Normal West, so we don't really have that local advantage anymore. But still nice to kind of see how that's going and see the recognition we got in the subsectional despite being unranked in the AP poll still.
Yeah, following the Alton sectional, the winner of that would be playing the Bolingbrook sectional, who is loaded with lots of teams. Much like the Alton sectional we talked about, Alton themselves and O'Fallon, Bolingbrook has Bennett Academy, number 2 ranked team in 4A. Aurora, which is also better known as Waubonsie Valley, they're number 8 in 4A. They're also in the top 10 for their boys team this year, so a very solid program. And Bolingbrook is number 16 in 4A. So that Bolingbrook sectional is very talented, much like the Alton sectional, so it'll be very interesting to watch how that shapes out. But we are hitting that time of year. It is the second to last game for Normal Community, and like we've been saying, this is the best time for them to have gotten hot, and they have 6 straight, looking for 7 straight against West here. And then in their last game of the season, they will be playing Mahomet Seymour's 18-9, 7-1 in conference. But I'd just like to bring up something real quick, Bella. I think a shot went over the backboard.
I did see that, and I'll be honest, I did make a bit of an ugly face right there. It was a little, it's a little miscalculated, I'll say.
A little over the backboard, I think.
Maybe it tops your shot.
Yes.
A little.
That's all I wanted. That's all I needed to hear. You know, I also saw one heaved at the end on the. Oh, there's a bucket. We've seen 2 makes today, but I saw one heaved at the back orange wall, and it was like to the side. So I think that one's also a little worse than mine as well.
Possibly.
You know,
But they're not all, JV superstars like you were.
We got a heave. I've never seen the heave work. It was a quarterback sling to knock that one in. This is fun to watch, but let's get back to the Big 12. We talked about it before the contest started, but if you didn't join and you're just joining now, or you joined when the game started, let's talk about the Big 12 and how huge this game really is. We're at the end of the season, and we are very close in the conference. Obviously, Peoria Notre Dame, they're undefeated, and they will be the Big 12 champions. It happened last year, and they have another great team this year. They took down Normal Community by 12, I believe. It was a really hard-fought game from Community, but you just saw P&D was kind of at another level. Then right now at the number 2 spot is Normal Community, the spot they got last year, and Normal Community is 7-2 in conference. Then you look at Bloomington, also 7-2 in conference, but Normal Community beat them, so they are atop them. And then you look at Richwoods, who's now 7-2 after a big win against Manual, the team right under them, a 16-point win for Richwoods. So after that win, Richwoods is actually number 2 in conference at the moment, sitting at 7-2. But there is one more big game for them, and that game will be against Bloomington on February 8th. What day is it, Bella?
Is the February 6th right now.
Okay, so Saturday, we will see that matchup. We're getting towards the end of the week. The day of the week, the day doesn't really matter. It's okay. But that will be a big game on Saturday between Richwoods and Bloomington. Here's how it'll work out. If Normal Community wins tonight's game, they will regain the number 2 spot. But if Richwoods can win the matchup against Bloomington, they will take it back. If Bloomington wins, Normal Community will keep the position at number 2 if they can take down West tonight. So that's kind of the rundown. It might make a little bit more sense after the contest.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how many different scenarios can go down as we get here. Kind of a 3-way tie right now. That loss to Richwoods, 44-41 earlier in the season, was something Feeney said was a game that he kind of saw them losing focus a little. Maybe not. They're one of those losses that he would call a good one, right? It's something that it seems they've learned from still. Community, of course, has had a really good streak so far right now, having some really good performances and having a really competitive game against PND. PND is a great team right now, ranked really high. It was just a 62-50 game at the end of it. So Community, I'd say the matchups has shown a lot of growth over this season. It's shown them hitting their stride and really learning and having a lot of impact against some really big names as well.
Yeah, Normal actually got within 6 in the final quarter of that P&D game. So that was a really close contest. Score doesn't really even do it justice. So Normal Community has been here to compete. Just real quick, shouting out the rest of the Big 12 and how the standings are looking. It's P&D, Normal Community, Bloomington, Richwoods. BHS, Richwoods, Normal Community, all tied at 7-2. Right now, Richwoods atop it. They have the tiebreaker, but they have a game against Bloomington. Then we have Manual at 6-4. West is 5-3. Central 4-5. Danville 4-6. Centennial, Urbana, and Peoria all at the bottom of the standings. But that is how the Big 12 is looking. Centennial, Urbana, and Peoria have all kind of clinched the bottom 3 spots, as well as Danville and Champaign Central. That will be the bottom 5 in the Big 12. In the top 6, Normal West is in the hunt for this, which is really great for them, considering this is a team that is predominantly sophomores. There are 7 sophomores on this roster, and the starting lineup only has 1 senior, and there's only 2 seniors rostered. So this is a super young team. The hunt for the Big 12, so next year they could really start climbing the rankings.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is those 7 sophomores, they also have 12 returners. You know, so even if this is such a young team, they're all returning. They were freshmen playing on the varsity level as well. So they still have experience despite their youth.
And the second half of action has tipped off Normal West with the basketball, but Powers stole that one real quick with just 10 seconds into the second half. Powers has it with Dodge on her and is well beyond the 3-point line, just waiting for the Ironmen to set up. Now they get it into Reynolds. Reynolds kicks it out to Fisher. Nice pass back to Powers. Thinks about the 3. She's going to drive it instead. Now to Michaels. Michaels with the drive. And just a little too much on that. Normal West rebound. Now we have Ellison taking it up. She is a freshman, and she's had the ball in her hands probably the most out of all the Wildcats that we've seen today. Just as a freshman, that shows the confidence that the West coaching staff has in her. Now Lizzie Kaser drove to the rack, also a freshman, and was able to have a really high IQ basketball play, throwing that one off of Malinowski. There are 2 freshmen on the court for Normal West, and actually Lizzie Kaser didn't start in this matchup, but she got the start in the second half. So this is really interesting to see 2 freshmen getting the nod, and there is a 3 from Braylon Ellison, the freshman. Now Fisher is able to drive it, and she's going to kick it. Michaels thought about the 3. Good ball fake. Mid-ranger, count it. Michaels got it. Beautiful move from Haley Michaels, much like the Trey Burdett Hezzy and then 3-pointer. We saw the Hezzy and jumper there for Michaels. Now Ellison trying to work on Michaels, nowhere to go. She's going to have to kick that one to Avery Dodge. Dodge drives it on Powers. A little bump there, and that's going to be a foul against Normal West. Offensive foul on Dodge as Powers kept her feet centered and just kind of took a hit there. We see Dodge having a quick conversation with the ref, and we are back on air. Well, we were already on air. Anyways, Zoe Wilde checked into the ball game, and she's there just to really give that defensive presence, and also we've seen her do relatively well on the offensive end today. Marco Reynolds a little too much, but Powers has the rebound. She's double teamed, and it's going to be a foul as the West Wildcats were all over Reyna, and it looks like the foul will be on Lizzie Kaser. It really could have been on 3 Wildcats. Powers gets that to Wilde. Wilde's got Ellison guarding her.
It's hard to think of a time where Reyna isn't really in the position to get a foul drawn on her. She's just so good at drawing contact and using that to her advantage as well.
Yeah, Malinowski stole that one back after the miss and almost knocked down the layup, but Normal West is going to regain possession. And again, we see Dodge trying to work on Reyna Powers. Powers not letting her get much room, but that does not matter as Avery Dodge gets her first bucket since early in the first quarter. I believe Dodge is up to 6 points now on the contest. Wilde's going to drive. Ellison on her, tries to shake her, gives it to Reynolds. Good feed to Reynolds. Reynolds missed it, and it's going to be over a back against the senior center. It's an 8-point Normal Community lead with 5:18 left. West has started this quarter very hot. Substitution, DeJana Smith is substituted out of the contest, and we see the original starters back into the game as Kylie Wilson, the sophomore, checked back in.
Just 2 seniors on this West team. Community has around 8 seniors, I believe, this year. I did the whole pamphlet. I should know this, but still a big difference on that senior kind of leadership thing. I mean, you can't deny how senior presence kind of changes the way a team kind of feels.
Michaels gave that one to Powers. Powers at the three-point line with a little bit of space, but now Dodge gets up on her. Powers has added a three-pointer to her bag, and she's going to go for the spin move there, and it looks like it's going to be a jump ball. Bella, your vision's a little impaired right now.
Like why I didn't make the basketball team, because I'm a little short and I can't see around people sometimes.
To be fair, I don't think I could see in that position too. It's really just right in your line of vision. But we got a Kenna Malinowski three, and she drains it. Nice shot from Malinowski, full confidence. 28-17 Normal Community, back to double digits. Malinowski nearly gets the steal. She's one of the leaders in steals. We're gonna have a foul on Marco Reynolds, who tried to get the block there.
Fouls on the line, number 4, Marco Reynolds.
4:17 left in the third quarter. We saw West get off to a hot start, but Malinowski kind of threw that off for them as she nailed the three, and that was just a straight swish from Malinowski, her second three-pointer of the game. At the line is Avery Dodge, the guard slash forward. She can do it all, and the free throw is good. We saw a lot of noise from Normal Community as she was shooting that free throw, and I'm loving the student section that we got going here tonight.
Yeah, like we said, we've had a lot of Saturday games where people aren't necessarily going, and even at that, you don't see a lot of like huge crowds like this, with just people being loud, having that experience, kind of that
Malinowski three!
Sixth man, you could say. Malinowski's third three of the night, catching fire.
She is on fire. Back-to-back threes, and they were straight swishes. West wants one of their own. That one's not going to fall for Wilson. Now Normal Community has momentum, taking it back. Haley Michaels at the three-point line, gives it to Powers. Back to Malinowski. And just a little much on that one. You know, those are the moments that we've seen this year from Malinowski, who at one point made 4 straight threes in a contest. When she catches fire, it is hard for her to be turned off. Now the drive from Wilson, and that's going to be thrown away. Normal Community basketball. Once Malinowski started nailing those threes, all the momentum Normal West had just fell down, and Normal Community has regained the momentum and the double-digit lead. It's 31-19 with 3:31 left in the third quarter. What do you want to see from Normal Community to really hold on to this lead?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really loving when Kenna Malinowski, like when they just give the ball to Kenna Malinowski, there's kind of just a flow that happens, right? Getting it to people when they're open, getting in a flow offensively with a lot of teamwork, a lot of passing, is kind of what I like to see from Community, and when they're at their best, when they're feeling like not inhibited by things, not trying to have too much pressure on their mind, just going with the flow and doing things because they feel right.
Yeah, we've seen some really unselfish basketball from Community, lots of passing, and at times maybe even a little too unselfish, because we have seen Malinowski just shoot with straight confidence. And Bella, we're seeing the photographer that was a bit in your way there, but now he's down at the court, so I think you'll be able to have a clear shot of Malinowski's straight swishes. But Kenna Malinowski is up to 11 points, leading the Ironmen in today's contest. She has 6 in the second half and 3 three-pointers. She averages 3 three-pointers made a game, and second on the team is Camry Fisher at just 1. So it is a huge difference, and we still see Malinowski out on the court. We got Raina Powers, Haley Michaels, Zoe Wilde, and senior Armani Connor in for Marco Reynolds. Now we see a little bit of pressure from Normal West. Community breaks right through that. Powers with the ball in her possession with Dodge on her. Powers drives, tried to draw the foul, no call, but Connor got the rebound, and she's gonna kick it to Wilde. Wilde thinks about the three, ball fake, back to Connor. Connor, mid-ranger, nailed it. Count it for Armani Connor. She's got 4 points in today's contest, and that's something we don't see very often. She shoots a lot of them in practice. She's got a sweet stroke, and there's a sweet stroke from Lizzie Kaser. Nails the three as Community was really getting the biggest momentum we have seen in this ball game.
Yeah, something about that Connor mid-range shot. In the preseason, I remember taking a little footage of them in their open gym. But I saw Connor just going at it, going mid-range shot after mid-range shot. So you know she works on that. So to get that shot to go in, it's just a show of how much she works on that.
Yeah, Michaels just tried to get that one back to Connor, and it looked like Connor was fouled underneath on the ground. Third foul for Normal West in the quarter. 2 more will put Normal Community at the bonus. It is a very aesthetically pleasing scoreboard right now. 33-22 in the third quarter. We have 2 fouls. They have 3 for any math nerds that like that. Anyways, and now we're at 2:23. Moving on, Haley Michaels tries to squeeze past 2 defenders, and she does, as one falls to the ground. That is number 34, Annika Reisinger, who we haven't seen yet today. Wilde thinks about the three, drives it instead, and nearly made that one. Connor hustling for the rebound, but the possession's gonna go to West. Kaser swings that one, and there's a quick jump shot from Reisinger, and the putback is good from Avery Dodge. Is Dodge up to double digits now? I think that was her 8th point, so she is nearing the double-digit margin. 33-24, West back within single digits. They just won't go away. Raina Powers gives it to Malinowski. Malinowski with Wilson on her. Wilson 5'5", few inches shorter than Malinowski. She can definitely shoot over her. Powers left with a little room at the three-point line. She's not gonna take it as Dodge has given her a little comfort room. Wilde with it, back to Powers. The Ironmen are holding this right now, taking their time. There's 1:15 left in the third quarter, but there have been crazier things that have happened. The Iron might try to hold this, but now Michaels is gonna drive. She kicks it to Wilde. Wilde thinks about the three. Nice drive, and the finish from Zoe Wilde. Beautiful ball fake, gets into the zone, gets into the lane, and knocks it in.
Wow, I mean, Wilde's just like an insanely quick player. You see her at one spot, and then she does a fake, and then she's down there in the lane getting a floater in. So just an insanely crafty player. I expect to see a lot from her next year. We're approaching some of the last games of this year, just 2 regular season games, including this one left for this year's senior class. So Zoe Wilde, a junior, is going to return next year. I see her really taking over this team, especially as a leader.
Yeah, I think Wilde will be a big leader, as well as Haley Michaels, Ashlyn Wellborn, 3 guards that have gotten significant minutes this year, especially Michaels now moving up into a starting position. So those are 3 juniors that the Community will see a lot of next year. This is a team that has 8 seniors, but 10 juniors. So they've been really working on this team, and there's a couple JV players that have started getting minutes on varsity as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this Community team shapes up next season. Now we see a press from Normal Community. West breaks right through it. Wilson's gonna drive it to the rack and just misses that one. Rebound, Haley Michaels. Michaels gonna take it herself. She's got Wilson on her. Nice crossover, gives it to Powers. Powers drives to the rack, draws the foul. Foul there, I believe, was called on Haley Upton. We saw kind of a sandwich approach there from the Wildcats. Upton up front and Dodge coming in from behind. You see 2 free throws from Powers. Powers missed her first 2 in the contest. These will be big ones. That one just in and out from Powers. She really improves her free throw percentage as the season has progressed. And let's see if this one falls for the Kentucky commit in soccer. Little fun fact if you didn't know that one. She nails that. She is just a spectacular athlete that can really do it all. And committing to Kentucky for soccer is no joke.
Yeah, and also playing with her travel soccer team right now. So she's just balancing a lot of things right now. I remember Alliance talked about this last year. You know, she's has to do both things at once, but she's committed to being at both. She wants to be part of everything 100%. So just amazing to see the commitment she shows to these programs.
Yeah, I know I would be exhausted. Armani Connor got the rebound after the Avery Dodge miss, and now Wilde has it. Camry Fisher has checked into the game for Kenna Malinowski as well. We got 14 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 36-24 Normal Community, down to 10. Now we're at 8. Fisher's gonna drive, kicks it to Connor with 5, 4. Now Haley Michaels drives it and counted for Michaels, and the buzzer sounds. 38-24 Normal Community. Fantastic finish to the third quarter, and I believe that is the biggest lead for the Iron.
Yeah, I love when we get those last second shots. Like I said, huge momentum shift coming from Haley Michaels this time. A younger player, not someone who gets a bunch of those times where it's like, you're the one who we want to score, but still, this team has so many people who they trust. They trust so many people. Everyone's in this program has a level of investment that makes Feeney trust them. They're all 100% in this program and trying to get better and better. Haley Michaels, I assume, getting the starting spot is only going to improve in her role as well next year. So a lot of good things for this. Now we have a 14-point lead for Community. We're talking about the implications of what this game could mean, with Richwoods moving up to 2 right now. Then if Community wins this one, and Richwood loses their matchup against Bloomington on Saturday, we could see Community go to that number 2 spot. Last year they also got the number 2 spot. So it'll kind of show that people expected them to take a big drop off. It's not a huge drop off. This team is still insanely talented and is able to compete at a really high level.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the playoffs for this team nearing the end of the season, second to last game for Normal Community. Let's see if they can close out today's matchup. There's a three-pointer, that one off for the senior Smith. Raina Powers gets the rebound, and the Iron are looking to build on their lead. Michaels double team, good pressure from West, but good composure from Michaels. Now Wilde's gonna take the deep shot. That one just off. Connor got a piece of it. Fisher's gonna get it. And I think we're gonna have a foul against Normal West there, as Fisher tried to kind of obtain the basketball, and it looked like West got in there a little chippy. That's one thing we've seen Normal Community drawing a lot more fouls than they've been giving in this game. Marco Reynolds checks back into the game.
West averages 42 points per game, now just at 24. Incredible defense from the Ironmen tonight, really holding West down offensively.
Yeah, and now we're seeing composure from Normal Community, not trying to rush anything, just waiting for their shot. Powers is going to drive. Looked like there was a foul on that play from Avery Dodge, but West obtains the rebound as Dodge got the board. Kylie Wilson with it up top. The sophomore guard nearly made the three-pointer, but Powers gets yet another rebound. Powers is the leading rebounder on this team, second in scoring, leader in steals. She averages 10.6 boards, 2 steals, 2 assists. She does a little bit of everything. Michaels thought about the three, gives it to Powers. Powers is also someone you'll see with the ball in her hands a lot, kind of composing this Community offense. Community really taking their time here, and I think that's exactly what they need to do. They've got a big lead, and they've got the clock winding down. Fisher to Wilde, Wilde into Reynolds. Reynolds has a mismatch again. Nice pass to Michaels. Michaels three, no good there, and the rebound goes to Lizzie Kaser.
You saw Zoe Wilde trying to get in there too. just a huge effort kind of play. Someone who is always trying to extend the possession and get her hands on the ball.
Wilson missed that layup after tough defense from Michaels and Reynolds. Nowhere to go. Michaels is going to drive it, kicks to Wilde at the corner three. She'll drive herself and nails it. That's Wilde's go-to, a fake from three, and it's one of the best fakes I've seen in high school basketball. Nearly gets the defender to bite every time and drives to the basket for a nice finish. Normal West trying to get a finish of their own, but that is going to be stripped away from Fisher. Raina Powers gets it back herself. It's 40-24, a 16-point Iron lead. 5:30 left in the fourth quarter. Normal Community taking their time offensively. Michaels drives it, good dish to Marco Reynolds, who nails the layup. Great vision from the junior guard there. Michaels saw her, and really when I didn't see her, I thought Michaels was going to drive it herself. Instead, gives it off to Marco Reynolds. Good finish there.
Yeah, I've seen Reynolds' role kind of grow. We've seen her get up to around 8 points per game this season. Used to be going around the 5-point range. So we know Marco Reynolds can be super dominant as well. She's 6'1". She has an advantage, especially against these local opponents, to really cause havoc. Earlier in this matchup in the inter-city game, Reynolds actually got 3 blocks, so she really held down the paint. And she got around 6 points, I believe, 9 points actually. She got 9 points. So Marco Reynolds is a player who you can kind of depend on for a lot of those easy fundamental shots. It's just a matter of people finding her and getting her in those positions.
Yeah, Marco Reynolds had a big shot to start the game when Normal Community was down 4-0. And Marco Reynolds nailed an and one, and that kind of got things going for Normal Community. Now it's an 18-point lead. You want to run through the scoring leaders for Normal Community right now.
Yeah, leading the Iron tonight is Kenna Malinowski. Kenna Malinowski is also the season leader, so kind of consistent with that. Marco Reynolds has 7 points in the game. Zoe Wilde has 7. Haley Michaels has 6. We have Fisher at 4, Connor at 4, and Powers at 3.
Yeah, and you know, Raina Powers has 3 points, but she has been everywhere on the court tonight. And good defense from the Iron, but the Wildcats get the possession back. Wildcats really looking for whatever they can get. Drives to the rack, blocked by Malinowski. It's going to be a foul against Normal Community. We don't see many blocks from this Community team. And that was a great one there from Malinowski, who just averages 0.1 blocks a game.
Yeah, that was something in the earlier season in the inter-city matchup against West. I believe Kenna Malinowski had like kind of 3 blocks. I remember her having a lot of blocks and being surprised by her. That was a debut, and kind of seeing that activity, I never really knew that she had that ability in her. But you see that right there. She has that firepower to get out there and swat a shot.
Yeah, and we talk about her being so successful from three-point land, but she averages 2 steals a game. Defense is in her DNA, and we see a foul there against Normal West, I believe, and Community will get the ball back with 4:38 left. It's 42-24. We have Eva Bankston into the game for Normal West, a substitute that we haven't seen so far in the game. Fisher gives that one to Malinowski. Iron looking for their first 20-point lead of the ball game. Wilde with the ball, waiting for a screen from Malinowski. Now quick help defense from West, nearly steals it, and that's going to be a foul on Avery Dodge. That was really solid help defense from Normal West. We saw a good screen from Malinowski, but the freshman, Lizzie Kaser, was able to get right off of that and guard Zoe Wilde. That's something you don't see from a lot of freshmen, really showing what this Normal West team is going to be capable of.
Yeah, and down there, Mia Lester actually has that whiteboard where they draw the plays up. So you see her still having an impact on this game as a leader, as that starting point guard, still helping this team.
Yeah, and that is huge because she's sick. Like, I would not want to go to a basketball game if I was under the weather. And that just shows kind of the connection of this team. Now Marco Reynolds into the lane. Nice finger roll from Reynolds and great delivery from Michaels. It's a 20-point Normal Community lead, 44-24, and West takes it all the way. That's Kylie Wilson. We've seen her do that a couple of times. She's just a sophomore, someone we'll see a lot of next year, and she has a different level of confidence. She goes to the hoop, drives it. She has a lot of speed, and we've just seen some of them not really fall tonight. Normal Community has very solid interior defense. First one misses there from Wilson. It is still a 20-point lead, Normal Community, with 3:44 left in the final quarter. West has 3 fouls, Normal Community with 2. Second free throw, good. Powers checks that one up to Michaels. Michaels with the freshman Lizzie Kaser on her, blows past her, sees Malinowski for a 3. In and out from Malinowski. Thought that one was going to fall. Great awareness from Michaels after she sped past the freshman Kaser. Then Malinowski had that attempt there from 3. Now West with good interior passing and just a little too much. Really solid pass there from Avery Dodge. She's just a sophomore. I would say probably their best player, definitely offensively, that we've seen. She's got a lot of confidence. She can get in, play post, but she can also command the offense at guard. She can play a little bit of every position. We saw some great vision from her there. And now it is in the hands of Dodge. Dodge trying to drive on Powers. She's going to kick it instead. Three-pointer up and no good from Normal West. And that's going to be a foul on the floor against Raina Powers, as I think there was a bit of a problem with the boxing out between her and Dodge, but we see them pat each other on the shoulder. You love to see that kind of sportsmanship, even in these big rivalry games. You know, at the end of the day, it's all love, and it's looking like Normal Community is going to be looking at 9 straight wins against Normal West. They can close out this 19-point lead with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, interesting to see just the way this has kind of shifted so much to community in the last 5 years. I remember the Paw Print actually made an article about this. I have not gotten around to watching it or to reading it, but they talked about how it's been 5 years since West has gotten a win. Seems like that streak is going to continue. Seems like it is.
Normal Community playing very well here today, but you never know. They could meet back up in the sectional, as they are in the same sectional, so that's something to keep an eye on, because you talked about earlier, there have been years where Normal Community and Normal West match up 3 times in a year, something you don't see very often in high school basketball. You see it all the time in the NBA. I'm looking at past years, actually trying to see the last time they played 3 times. In the 2019-2020 season, Normal Community and Normal West played 3 straight times, and West won every single game, winning 65-52, then by 19, and then by 9 in the playoffs. 21-22 was dominated by Normal Community. 2 wins there, 1 double digits, 1 a 6-point lead. The following year, 2 20-plus point victories for Normal Community. Last year saw Normal Community win 3. They played 3 times, all by over 20. And this year they won by 7 in the first contest, now up by 19. And there was a foul there against Kylie Wilson. Yeah,
so it's been in this new Feeney era where we've seen in the past years they have not lost to West at all. This community class, I feel like I'm mixing up my words a little. But this community class has never seen West come on top of them. And we're seeing this crowd also have that same reaction. Huge crowd tonight, asserting I was going to say who's daddy, but I don't think I should say that. And I already did. So, you know, who's the
boss?
Guys, West side is the best side.
Anyways,
I mean, East side is the beast side.
44-25 Normal Community. After the free throw, it's a 20-point lead. And yes, the fans are here. They're loud. We have seen great stuff from the student section. Love seeing them show out, show support to this team that has had a phenomenal season. Normal Community is 23-6. And with this 20-point lead after this game, they will move on to 24-6 with just one game left in the season. Now the Wildcats, nice move there from Avery Dodge, who is now up to double digits in the ball game and has really been that bright spot for Normal West. Someone that is just a sophomore. She's 5'10", plays that stretch forward position, and I've been really impressed with Avery Dodge tonight.
Yeah, Dodge really dodges those defenders to get into the paint. She's a really good player. You see, she has a lot of height. She's able to get into the paint with a lot of ease, taking contact. She's not always dodging the players. You know, sometimes she's going straight into them, but still taking that contact and really having an impact on West. I assume she'll be a big player on the team coming in years, just a sophomore right now.
Yeah, how many times in 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in this game are you going to go with the dodging the defenders? I have a feeling you're going to go with it again, but you know, I love the jokes. I've always loved to do my own, maybe just a little less obvious sometimes, but that one worked. I like that one.
Like a bear in the paint.
Marco Reynolds in the paint gives that one to Raina Powers. And Powers has it with 2:35 left. The double team, she gets through it, and she's just going to take it back out. And it's kind of like playing tag out here. Raina Powers was able to keep that one, and now here comes the double team again. We're seeing it back and forth. Michaels is open from three, but Normal Community is going to hold on to this basketball. That one nearly gets stolen from Lizzie Kaser. Wilde with the ball. We're at 2:10 left in the contest. 18-point Normal Community lead. Michaels and Reynolds. Reynolds to Wilde. Good ball movement, great patience. Now we're hearing some claps, cheering it up from the student section. Malinowski at that corner three. We see her shoot those a lot. That one nearly got turned over, but Normal Community has kept this ball for over 30 seconds now. Actually, it was 2:35 when the possession started. We're now at 1:45. Malinowski's going to drive. Iron might look for something here. Wilde gives it to Powers. Now at 1:40. It has been nearly a minute-long possession. 56-second long possession. There's the foul on Normal West, and Community is in the bonus. Haley Michaels will be going to the free throw line for two.
Wow, I mean, that's just such a kind of thing that talks about how good they are as a team, being able to find each other and not get overwhelmed and succumb to West pressure. Just finding each other and keeping the possession moving, especially for a minute straight, to get that minute off the clock and really try to secure this game and not let West try to get any comeback ideas.
Yeah, West is a team that averages 42 points a game. They only have 27 tonight, a testament to Normal Community's defensive pressure. They haven't let any one player go off on them. Dodge just hit double digits at 10 points. She has shot a fair amount of shots, kind of the predominant scorer for Normal West. She's been held to 10, but still a really solid performance from her. And there haven't been many three-pointers from West. That's going to nearly be over and back. Fisher gets it, and Community's going to get it back. 20-point lead. We got 1:23 left. We'll see how long Normal Community tries to hold this one, and it'll just be a couple seconds as the foul is on Kylie Wilson. Raina Powers going to the line. She's only gone 1 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. See if she can knock down these two. She shoots about 60% from the line on the season. Definitely lower than her season average here tonight. First one rattles home for Raina Powers. Biggest lead of the contest. We're now at 21-point lead for Normal Community. We see a substitution. That is the other senior for the Wildcats, Annabelle Kukler. She is a senior at 5'2" guard, so a much smaller guard. And we also see Tatum Yoakley checking into the ball game, the senior that we've seen play a lot more minutes as we kind of progress through the season. She'll be a big part of this team in the playoffs. Powers just misses that one, and that's going to be Normal West basketball. We have another substitution in for Normal Community. Ava Turner is into the ball game, someone that I could see as that 6th woman for the team next year. How we saw Haley Michaels this year. Expect the same kind of role from Ava Turner in next season. And there's the steal from Turner. Nice job. She gets that one to Michaels. We're at 1:05 left. 48-27 Normal Community. Michaels drive, kick to Yoakley. Here's the ball movement. Turner's got it. And tough defense. That's going to be a foul on Annabelle Kuchler.
Kind of interesting to see the way the Wildcats are still fighting. This is a 21-point game with 56.7 seconds left. I don't know what they're really fighting for. I mean, I guess there's always a chance. There's always a chance, guys.
Well, I think it's the moral of this Normal West team. Like, they are not giving up. Putting in senior Annabelle Kuchler into this game is kind of just like a thank you to someone that puts all that time into the program. And, you know, when you see a team down 21, 56 seconds left, it is easy, and we see it all the time. Teams just folding. There is no way you can win the contest, but when you keep fighting, you really show who you are as players and who you are as a team. You're a team that really, the Wildcats are a team that never stops clawing their way to victory.
Wow.
Yep.
That was a good one.
I did it.
That was a good one.
There's a three-pointer from Normal West. That one nearly goes in. That was a circus shot from Avery Dodge. We also have the sophomore Hope Farrell into the ball game, and we have a few more substitutions for Normal West. Number 33, Annika Reisinger. We saw her earlier, and we'll try to get names for everybody on the court. I think we actually already have for Normal West. Now Annabelle Kuchler's got it. She kicks that one over to the freshman Lizzie Kaser. Back to Kuchler. Here's the shot. Just a little short. Emma Harrison into the game for Normal Community. Got the board there.
We'll see if Emma tries to shoot a three here. We're coming on maybe the last time she'll really ever be on the court these last two regular season games. So we'll see if she tries to have a cool exit.
Yeah, she has been huge for this Normal Community team, really the voice of the Ironmen. And this game is coming to a close. 10 seconds left. The clock is winding down. The fans are getting up. It's 48-27 Normal Community victory over the Normal West Wildcats. Big win against the crosstown rivals.
Woo! Sorry, I don't know why I just screwed. Guys, this is my last game commentating as a girls basketball commentator. I'm a senior. We're going to go to Mizzou next year. You as well. Zach Knox Doyle. So it's just kind of bittersweet. Like this, I've been doing this for 2 years. It was kind of interesting kind of how I got involved in it. Mr. Brad Bovenkirk, person on the camera tonight, he just approached me. He was like, well, we don't really have anyone to do this, so if you want.
There you go.
And I guess, you know, I did it. And I think I've grown a lot doing this, become more comfortable. It's been really fun to see this team kind of have such a different position this year of difference from last year. Last year was a thing where we knew, oh, this team is going to be really good. They're going to go really far. We want to see if they can go out with a big bang in their senior year. This year, a team with a lot of, uncertainty early on. When we've seen them really find their identity, it's been really fun to talk with all these players and get to know them, get to know Coach Feeney in my time doing this, and grow with them and see how they develop and be part of that journey.
Yeah, it has been so fun to be able to call these games. You know, before this, I'd never really done play-by-play. I'd done play-by-play for football games, and it's been a blast working with you, Bella. This has been a lot of fun. Great season. We've seen some wins. We've seen some losses, but it's nice to end on a big win against this big rival against Normal West. 48-27, huge victory. We talk about the next game for Normal Community as they will be taking on Muhammad Seymour, a very solid team. So Community is 24-6. They still got another game against an 18-9 program. That should be a really close one. I'm excited for that. And look at all the fans on the court. This is just really nice to see in the closing home matchup.
Yeah, just such a great sight to see the support for this team. Maybe not having the crazy hype that they had last year, but still getting the support We've seen the court get a new look this year. It's just a whole new kind of environment for the Ironmen, more of an identity. We've seen a weight room come in with some updates. So a lot of investment in this athletic program this year. So a lot of investments, a lot of improvements, a lot of things to look forward to. As we get into playoffs this year, Community moves up to 24-6, their overall record. The normal Wildcats move down to 9-17, and Community's also 8-2 in conference. So sitting at that 2-3 spot, with Richwoods also being there. They outclassed, I guess, because of that win-loss that they had. But that's gonna be me, Bella Green, last time as a commentator for girls basketball this year. Wow. And Zach Knox Doyle's here with me. You have Audra Wolf over here producing the thing tonight. Brad Bovenkirk was on the camera, I think. I don't know, he was everywhere.
He was on all the cameras.
Yeah, he's on every camera.
A little bit of everything.
If you saw a camera tonight, Brad Bovenkirk was somewhere.
You know it.
Yeah.
And with the live streams, this is the last girls basketball one. We will have 2 more boys basketball. The season continues a little bit longer. Pekin on February 11th and Normal West on February 21st. Just a quick rundown of what's to be expected for the end of the season. We have Normal Community in the Alton sectional. We talked about the teams they are playing earlier in this game. You can go to IHSA to figure some of that out. Big teams, Alton number 4. They're in subsectional A, we're in subsectional B. Also O'Fallon number 13 in the AP poll, so those are 2 really big teams for that. And when you look at the Big 12, right now, Normal Community is number 2 in the Big 12. They're 8-2. P&D is undefeated, but Richwoods is 7-2. Bloomington 7-2. If Richwoods and Bloomington are set to play each other on Saturday. If Richwoods wins, they will be number 2, Community number 3. If Bloomington wins, Normal Community will stay at number 2 in the Big 12 as they were last year. Want to close this out, Bella?
Yeah, I've said this a few times. Oh my gosh. Wow, all the fans are like over there like having an arch for all the girls to run out. Sorry, that was just so cool.
You love to see that. It's really cool.
Yeah, but I've said this a few times on the live streams. My favorite catchphrase, love you all, everyone. Love you all. I love you so much. Love you all so much. It's some group love here. Everyone's having love in this group that we're building here. So, good night, everyone. That will be all. Audra Wolf, the producer.